What if I told you that some of the most powerful plants used by ancient civilizations for thousands of years are now being validated by modern scientific research? Yet most people have never heard of them. I'm talking about plants that supported human health across every major civilization, from ancient Egypt to traditional Chinese medicine to Ayurvedic India. Plants that modern researchers are now studying in laboratories and publishing peer-reviewed papers about, confirming what traditional healers understood centuries ago. Today, I'm revealing 15 of these ancient medicinal plants that modern science is actively rediscovering. Many of them can be grown in your own garden or found at your local health food store. By the end of this video, you'll understand the traditional wisdom behind these plants and what current research tells us about their potential benefits. Here's the challenge we face today. As synthetic medicine became dominant in the 20th century, traditional plant-based knowledge gradually faded from medical education and mainstream awareness. Research funding shifted almost entirely toward pharmaceutical development, meaning thousands of years of accumulated botanical wisdom received far less scientific attention. The consequence? Most people today aren't aware that many common plants have been traditionally used for health support across multiple cultures for millennia. They don't know that modern science is now validating many of these traditional uses through rigorous research. This knowledge gap means missed opportunities for understanding how plants may complement our overall wellness strategies. Without this knowledge, you might overlook cost-effective, accessible plants that have supported human health for generations. You might not realize that some of the most researched botanical compounds are sitting in your spice cabinet right now. Most importantly, you miss the opportunity to explore how traditional wisdom and modern science can work together to support your well-being. Before we explore these specific plants, you need to understand something remarkable about traditional medicine. It wasn't guesswork. It wasn't superstition. These were systematic approaches developed over centuries through careful observation, experimentation, and refinement. Ancient Egyptian medical papyri documented plant preparations with precision that rivals modern pharmacology. The Ebers Papyrus, dating to 1550 BCE, contains over 700 herbal formulas with specific dosages and preparation methods. Traditional Chinese medicine's Materia Medica, compiled over 2,000 years ago, describes hundreds of medicinal plants with details about their properties, applications, and combinations. Ayurvedic texts from ancient India categorized plants by their effects on body systems with remarkable sophistication. What's fascinating is that modern science is now confirming much of this traditional knowledge. A 2023 review in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology found that approximately 70 to 80% of traditional plant uses that have been rigorously studied show measurable biological activity consistent with their traditional applications. That's not coincidence. That's validation of accumulated human experience. The plants we're discussing today represent the intersection of ancient wisdom and modern scientific validation. These aren't obscure herbs used by a single culture. These are plants that appear across multiple traditional medicine systems independently, suggesting genuine, reproducible benefits that humans discovered through experience across different continents and time periods. Now here's what makes this moment in history particularly exciting. We're living in an era where advanced research technology can finally analyze what makes these traditional plants work at a molecular level. Scientists can now identify specific bioactive compounds in plants, understand their mechanisms of action, observe how they interact with human cells, and measure their effects in controlled clinical trials. Technologies like liquid chromatography mass spectrometry allow researchers to identify hundreds of compounds in a single plant. Genomic analysis helps us understand how plant compounds influence gene expression. Clinical imaging lets us observe real-time effects on body systems. According to recent data, over 7,000 plant species have documented traditional medicinal uses. Yet less than 1% have been thoroughly studied using modern clinical research methods. This represents an enormous frontier of potential discovery. The plants we're covering today are among the exceptions. They've received enough scientific attention that we now have substantial research backing their traditional uses. What's particularly compelling is how modern research often validates traditional preparation methods and combinations. Ancient herbalists somehow knew that certain plants work better together, that specific preparation methods increase bioavailability, that timing and dosage matter significantly. Modern science is now explaining why these traditional practices were so effective. Each plant I'll discuss today has been the subject of multiple peer-reviewed studies. I'll share what traditional systems use them for, what modern research indicates about their potential benefits, and how you can explore them further. This isn't about choosing between ancient wisdom and modern science. It's about recognizing that both offer valuable perspectives on plant medicine. Let me give you the framework for understanding these 15 plants. For each one, I'll break down several key elements so you have a complete picture. First, the scientific name and traditional origins. This ensures you know exactly what plant we're discussing and where traditional knowledge comes from. Second, the active compounds that research has identified. Understanding what specific molecules create effects helps explain how these plants work in the body. Third, what modern research suggests about potential benefits, using language that reflects the actual state of scientific evidence. Fourth, why these plants received less attention in modern medicine as synthetic approaches became dominant. This isn't about conspiracy, it's about understanding how medical paradigms shifted in the 20th century and why plant-based research became less prominent. Fifth, the traditional uses across different cultures, giving you historical context for how humans have utilized these plants for generations. Sixth, preparation methods that affect how these plants work. Bioavailability, the form of consumption, and preparation techniques all influence effectiveness. Traditional herbalists developed specific preparation methods for good reasons, and modern research often validates their approaches. Seventh, suggested usage based on research, always with the reminder to consult healthcare providers for personalized guidance. And finally, growing conditions for those interested in cultivating their own medicinal plants. A few important principles before we begin. Traditional herbalists rarely used plants in isolation. They created formulations, specific combinations of plants that work synergistically. Modern research is now validating many of these combinations, showing that plants often work better together than alone. Ancient practitioners also understood that plants work best as part of holistic health strategies including nutrition, lifestyle, and appropriate medical care when needed. I also want to emphasize research literacy. After watching this video, I encourage you to explore the scientific literature yourself. PubMed, Google Scholar, and other databases contain thousands of peer-reviewed studies on these plants. Look up the research. Read the studies. Don't take my word or anyone else's word on faith. The evidence is public, accessible, and verifiable. One more note about safety. While these plants have long histories of traditional use and modern research backing, they're not without considerations. Some interact with medications. Some aren't appropriate during pregnancy. Some have contraindications for certain health conditions. This is why working with qualified healthcare practitioners who understand both conventional and botanical approaches is essential. These plants aren't miracle cures. They're not panaceas. They're tools that may support health and wellness when used appropriately as part of comprehensive health strategies. Now let's explore what they are. Let's begin with one of the most extensively researched plants in modern science. Turmeric, known scientifically as curcuma longa. This golden yellow rhizome, an underground stem similar to ginger, has been used in Ayurvedic medicine for over 4,000 years and features prominently in traditional Chinese medicine as well. The primary active compound is curcumin, which gives turmeric its distinctive color and accounts for most of its biological activity. Curcumin is a polyphenol, a class of plant compounds with significant antioxidant properties. Over 14,000 peer-reviewed studies have been published on curcumin, making it one of the most researched natural compounds in existence. Research suggests that curcumin may support healthy inflammatory response at a cellular level. Studies indicate it could potentially support joint comfort and mobility. Research shows it may help maintain healthy brain function and has been studied for its potential neuroprotective properties. Additional studies suggest it may support digestive health, cardiovascular function, and healthy cellular aging. The research is substantial and continues to grow. As synthetic anti-inflammatory medications became dominant in the 20th century, Traditional plant-based approaches to inflammation received less research attention and funding. However, interest has resurged as researchers explore compounds with favorable safety profiles compared to some synthetic alternatives. In traditional Ayurvedic practice, turmeric was used to support digestion, promote healthy skin, and maintain overall vitality. It was considered a cleansing herb and used in numerous traditional formulations. Traditional Chinese medicine classified it as a blood-moving herb used to support circulation and reduce stagnation. The challenge with turmeric is bioavailability. Curcumin isn't easily absorbed by the human digestive system on its own. Traditional herbalists solved this thousands of years ago by combining turmeric with black pepper, which contains piperine, a compound that increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. Traditional preparations also included fats, as curcumin is fat-soluble. This is why golden milk recipes traditionally include black pepper and ghee or coconut oil. Modern research has validated these traditional preparation methods. For those interested in using turmeric, research suggests approximately 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of powdered turmeric combined with 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper and a source of healthy fat, taken once or twice daily with meals. Modern supplements typically contain 500 to 2,000 milligrams of curcumin with added piperine. Consult your healthcare provider for personalized guidance, especially if you're on blood-thinning medications, as turmeric may have mild blood-thinning effects. Turmeric grows in warm, humid climates in zones 8 and above. It requires rich, well-draining soil and partial shade. Plant rhizomes in spring and harvest in fall after foliage dies back. In cooler climates, grow in containers and bring indoors before frost. Ginger, or Zingiber officinale, is turmeric's botanical cousin and equally impressive. This rhizome has been used medicinally for over 5,000 years across Asian, Indian, Arabic, and African traditional medicine systems. Ginger contains several bioactive compounds, primarily gingerols and shogales. Gingerols are present in fresh ginger, while shogales form when ginger is dried or heated, and are actually more potent anti-inflammatory compounds than gingerols. This explains why traditional medicine used both fresh and dried ginger for different purposes. Modern research suggests ginger may help reduce nausea, including pregnancy-related morning sickness and chemotherapy-induced nausea. Multiple studies indicate it could potentially support digestive motility and reduce bloating. Research shows it may help with occasional muscle discomfort and support recovery after physical activity. Studies also suggest potential benefits for supporting healthy inflammatory response and maintaining joint comfort. Some preliminary research indicates it may support cardiovascular health through effects on circulation. As pharmaceutical anti-nausea medications and anti-inflammatory drugs became standard treatments, traditional botanical approaches received less mainstream attention in medical education, despite ginger's long history of use and favorable safety profile. Traditional Chinese medicine used fresh ginger to warm the digestive system and dispel cold conditions, while dried ginger was considered more warming and used for deeper, chronic conditions. Ayurvedic medicine classified ginger as heating and used it to kindle digestive fire. Throughout Asia, ginger has been consumed daily in teas, foods, and medicinal preparations for millennia. Fresh ginger is excellent for acute use in teas or foods. Dried ginger provides more concentrated effects. The conversion is approximately 1 tablespoon fresh ginger equals 1 teaspoon dried powder. For tea, slice fresh ginger thinly, simmer in water for 10 to 15 minutes, and consume warm. Research suggests 1 to 2 teaspoons of fresh ginger or 500 to 2,000 milligrams of dried ginger powder daily, depending on intended use. Ginger works synergistically with turmeric, which is why many traditional formulations and modern supplements combine them. Consult your healthcare provider, particularly if you're taking blood-thinning medications. Ginger is easier to grow than turmeric and tolerates container growing well. Plant rhizomes in spring in warm locations, keep soil consistently moist but not waterlogged, and harvest after 10 to 12 months when leaves yellow and die back. Requires warm, humid conditions for best growth. Ashwagandha, known scientifically as Withania somnifera and called Indian ginseng, is classified as an adaptogen, meaning research suggests it may help the body adapt to stress. This small shrub is central to Ayurvedic medicine and has been used for over 3,000 years. The roots contain compounds called withanolides, steroidal lactones that research suggests have effects on the nervous system, endocrine function, and immune response. Over 200 studies have explored ashwagandha's potential benefits. Clinical trials suggest ashwagandha may help the body manage stress more effectively, with some studies showing reductions in cortisol levels in stressed individuals. Research indicates it could potentially support cognitive function, enhance memory, and promote mental clarity. Studies suggest it may support thyroid health by helping to normalize thyroid hormone levels. Additional research shows it might support muscle strength and recovery, making it popular in fitness communities. Studies also indicate potential benefits for supporting restful sleep, particularly for those experiencing stress-related sleep difficulties. As pharmaceutical approaches to stress, anxiety, and sleep disorders became dominant treatments, traditional adaptogenic herbs received comparatively less research funding and attention in Western medical education, despite their long histories of use. In Ayurvedic tradition, ashwagandha is classified as a rasayana, a rejuvenating herb used to promote longevity, vitality, and overall wellness. It was traditionally used to support energy, strength, and endurance, and was given to children and elderly individuals to support vitality. The Sanskrit name ashwagandha translates to smell of horse, referring both to the root's odor and the traditional belief that it imparts the strength and vitality of a horse. Ashwagandha works best with consistent use rather than acute dosing. It's traditionally prepared by simmering root powder in warm milk with honey and ghee. Modern preparations typically use standardized root extract in capsule or powder form. Research suggests 300 to 600 milligrams of standardized ashwagandha root extract daily, typically taken in divided doses. Effects generally become noticeable after 2 to 8 weeks of consistent use. Consult your healthcare provider before use, particularly if you have thyroid conditions or are taking thyroid medications, as ashwagandha may influence thyroid hormone levels. Ashwagandha grows best in warm, dry climates in zones 8 and above. It prefers well-draining soil and full sun. The plant takes approximately 6 to 9 months to mature enough for root harvest. Once established, it's quite hardy and pest-resistant. Tulsi, or holy basil, known scientifically as Ocimum sanctum, is considered sacred in Hinduism and has been used in Ayurvedic medicine for over 5,000 years. It's another adaptogenic herb that research suggests may support the body's stress response. The leaves contain several aromatic compounds including eugenol, carvacrol, and linalool. These volatile oils contribute to Tulsi's distinctive fragrance and account for many of its biological activities. Research indicates these compounds may have antimicrobial properties and influence neurotransmitter systems. Studies suggest Tulsi may help the body manage stress and support emotional balance. Research indicates it could potentially support healthy immune function by influencing white blood cell activity. Studies show it may support respiratory health and comfortable breathing. Some research suggests it may help maintain healthy blood sugar levels already within normal range. Additional studies indicate potential benefits for cognitive clarity and focus. Preliminary research also suggests it may support liver function and the body's natural detoxification processes. As Western medicine focused on pharmaceutical interventions for stress, immune support, and metabolic health, traditional adaptogenic herbs like Tulsi received less mainstream medical attention despite extensive traditional use and emerging research. In Ayurvedic tradition, Tulsi is considered the queen of herbs and is used to support physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual wellness. Every part of the plant is considered beneficial. It's traditionally used to support the heart and mind, promote respiratory health, and enhance the body's natural defenses. Many Hindu households grow Tulsi plants and use the leaves daily in teas and cooking. Tulsi makes a delicious aromatic tea with an uplifting, slightly peppery flavor that many people find pleasant and energizing. Fresh or dried leaves can be steeped in hot water for 5 to 10 minutes. Traditional use suggests 2 to 3 cups of tulsi tea daily. Dried leaf preparations typically use 1 to 2 teaspoons per cup. Modern supplements provide standardized extracts, typically 300 to 600 milligrams daily. Consult your healthcare provider for personalized guidance. Tulsi is remarkably easy to grow and thrives in conditions similar to common basil. Plant seeds in spring after the last frost, or grow indoors year-round in a sunny location. Tulsi grows prolifically in warm conditions and is quite pest-resistant. There are 3 main varieties: Rama Tulsi with green leaves, Krishna Tulsi with purple leaves, and Vana Tulsi, which is more wild-growing. All have medicinal properties, though Krishna Tulsi is considered most potent in traditional use. Garlic, or Allium sativum, is so common we often forget it's one of the most well-researched medicinal plants. It has been used therapeutically for over 5,000 years across Egyptian, Greek, Roman, Chinese, and Indian civilizations. Garlic's medicinal power comes primarily from sulfur-containing compounds, especially allicin. Allicin forms when garlic is crushed or cut, triggering an enzymatic reaction that converts alliin into allicin. This is why fresh, crushed garlic has more potent effects than cooked garlic, as heat deactivates the enzyme before allicin can form. Over 3,000 studies have explored garlic's potential benefits. Research suggests it may support cardiovascular health by helping maintain healthy cholesterol levels and blood pressure already within normal range. Studies indicate it may support arterial health and circulation. Research shows garlic has antimicrobial properties, with activity against various bacteria, viruses, and fungi documented in laboratory studies. Some studies suggest it may support healthy immune function. Preliminary research indicates potential benefits for maintaining healthy blood sugar levels. Epidemiological studies have found associations between regular garlic consumption and various positive health outcomes. As pharmaceutical interventions for cardiovascular disease became standard practice, traditional dietary and botanical approaches to heart health received less emphasis in medical education, despite substantial research supporting garlic's cardiovascular benefits. Ancient Egyptians gave garlic to slaves building the pyramids for strength and endurance. Greek athletes consumed garlic before competitions. Traditional Chinese medicine uses garlic to support digestion and resolve stagnation. Throughout history, garlic has been valued both as food and medicine across virtually every culture that encountered it. For therapeutic purposes, raw garlic is most potent. Crushing or chopping garlic and allowing it to sit for 5 to 10 minutes before consuming allows maximum allicin formation. Adding crushed garlic to food just before serving preserves more beneficial compounds than cooking it extensively. For those who find raw garlic too intense, aged garlic extract provides an odor-reduced alternative that research suggests retains beneficial properties. Traditional and research-based recommendations suggest 1 to 3 raw cloves daily for therapeutic purposes. Even smaller amounts provide benefits when consumed regularly. Modern supplements typically provide standardized garlic extract equivalent to 1 to 2 fresh cloves. Consult your healthcare provider, especially if you're taking blood-thinning medications, as garlic has mild anticoagulant effects. Garlic is remarkably easy to grow. Plant individual cloves in fall, pointed end up, about 2 inches deep. Harvest when lower leaves begin to brown in early summer. Each clove produces an entire bulb containing multiple cloves. Perfect for beginning gardeners. Licorice root, scientifically known as Glycyrrhiza glabra, has been used for over 4,000 years in traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, and ancient Greek and Egyptian medicine systems. It's one of the most versatile medicinal plants known. The root contains glycyrrhizin and various flavonoids. Glycyrrhizin is intensely sweet, about 50 times sweeter than sugar, and has been studied for various biological activities. The flavonoids contribute additional beneficial properties. Research suggests licorice root may support adrenal function and help the body manage stress responses. Studies indicate it could potentially support digestive health by promoting healthy mucous membrane function in the stomach and intestines. Traditional use for occasional heartburn has been explored in modern research. Some studies suggest benefits for supporting respiratory comfort during seasonal challenges. Preliminary research indicates potential immune-supporting properties. Studies have also explored potential benefits for supporting hormonal balance, particularly during menopause. Glycyrrhizin can influence blood pressure in some individuals when consumed in high amounts over extended periods. This safety consideration led to decreased emphasis on licorice in modern medicine, despite its benefits when used appropriately and its long history of safe traditional use at reasonable doses. Traditional Chinese medicine considers licorice a harmonizing herb that's included in numerous formulations to enhance the effectiveness of other herbs and reduce potential side effects. It's one of the most frequently used herbs in Chinese herbal medicine. Ayurveda uses it to support digestion and respiratory health. Ancient Greeks used it for throat and stomach complaints. Licorice is best prepared as a decoction, meaning the root is simmered rather than simply steeped, to extract the beneficial compounds effectively. Simmer dried root pieces in water for 15 to 20 minutes. Traditional recommendations suggest 1 to 2 cups of licorice root tea daily, or 300 to 600 milligrams of standardized extract. For most people, short to moderate-term use at reasonable doses is well tolerated. Those with high blood pressure should use caution and consult healthcare providers before use. Deglycyrrhizinated licorice, or DGL, has the glycyrrhizin removed and is often recommended for digestive support without blood pressure concerns. Licorice grows as a perennial legume in zones 7 and above. It prefers full sun and well-draining soil. The roots require at least 3 years to develop sufficiently for harvest, so patience is necessary. Once established, plants spread through underground runners. Ginkgo biloba is the oldest living tree species, existing for over 200 million years. Its leaves have been used in traditional Chinese medicine for over 2,500 years, and modern science has extensively validated traditional uses. The leaves contain flavone glycosides and terpene lactones, particularly ginkgolides and bilobalide. Research suggests these compounds may support healthy blood flow and provide antioxidant protection, particularly to brain tissue and blood vessels. Extensive research suggests ginkgo may support cognitive function, memory, and mental clarity, particularly in aging populations. Studies indicate it could potentially support healthy cerebral blood flow, which is essential for optimal brain function. Research shows potential benefits for supporting healthy vision, particularly regarding age-related changes. Some studies suggest it may help support comfortable peripheral circulation to the extremities. Preliminary research has explored potential benefits for supporting ear health. Ginkgo is also one of the most researched antioxidant plants, with studies showing it may help protect cells from oxidative stress. As pharmaceutical approaches to cognitive decline and circulatory issues became standard treatments, traditional botanical approaches like ginkgo received less emphasis in mainstream medical education, though research interest has remained strong and clinical use has expanded. In traditional Chinese medicine, ginkgo seeds and leaves were used to support lung health and cognitive function. The tree is considered sacred in parts of Asia and is often planted near temples. Modern use focuses primarily on the leaves for cognitive and circulatory support. Standardized ginkgo leaf extract is the most researched form, though traditional tea preparations from leaves also provide benefits. Standardization ensures consistent levels of active compounds. Research typically uses 120 to 240 milligrams of standardized extract daily, divided into 2 or 3 doses. Studies suggest it takes 4 to 6 weeks of consistent use before benefits become noticeable. Ginkgo is often used as a long-term preventative approach for supporting cognitive health during aging. Consult your healthcare provider, especially if taking blood-thinning medications, as ginkgo has mild anticoagulant properties. Ginkgo trees are large and slow-growing, so most people source the leaves rather than growing trees specifically for medicinal use. However, ginkgo is hardy in zones 3 through 9 and tolerates urban pollution remarkably well. If growing for leaf harvest, female trees are preferred as male trees produce foul-smelling seeds. Visual: ancient ginkgo tree, distinctive fan-shaped leaves, flavonoid molecular structures, standardized extract capsules, ginkgo tree in different seasons. Milk thistle, or Silybum marinum, is nature's premier plant for supporting liver health. It has been used since ancient Greek and Roman times, over 2,000 years ago, and modern research has validated its traditional use extensively. The seeds contain a flavonoid complex called silymarin, which is actually a group of compounds including silibin, silidionin, and silicristin. Research suggests silymarin has significant antioxidant properties and may specifically support liver cell health and function. Extensive research suggests milk thistle may support healthy liver tissue and function. Studies indicate it could potentially help protect the liver from various environmental challenges and support the body's natural detoxification processes. Research shows it may help maintain healthy liver enzyme levels. Some studies suggest benefits for supporting kidney function. Additional research indicates it may support healthy inflammatory responses throughout the body. Preliminary studies have explored potential benefits for supporting healthy blood sugar metabolism. As pharmaceutical approaches to liver disease became standard treatment, traditional botanical liver tonics received less emphasis in medical education, despite substantial modern research supporting milk thistle's liver protective properties and its excellent safety profile. Ancient Greek physicians used milk thistle for liver and gallbladder support. European herbalists continued this tradition through the centuries. The distinctive white veins on the leaves are said to represent the milk of the Virgin Mary, giving the plant its common name. Standardized silymarin extract is the most potent and researched form. Whole seed powder or ground seeds also provide benefits but are less concentrated. Seeds can be ground and added to smoothies or foods. Research typically uses 150 to 300 milligrams of silymarin 3 times daily with meals. Studies suggest it takes 8 to 12 weeks of consistent use for optimal benefits. Milk thistle can be used long-term for maintenance of liver health. Consult your healthcare provider for personalized guidance. Milk thistle grows as a biennial, flowering and producing seeds in its second year. It thrives in zones 5 through 9, prefers full sun, and tolerates poor soil. Plant seeds in fall. The plant self-seeds readily and can become prolific. Harvest seeds when flower heads dry and turn brown. Morina oleifera, known as the miracle tree or drumstick tree, is perhaps the most nutrient-dense plant on Earth. It has been used in Ayurvedic medicine for over 4,000 years and is consumed as both food and medicine throughout Africa and Asia. Morina leaves contain an exceptional nutritional profile including complete protein with all essential amino acids, high levels of vitamins A, C, and E, minerals including iron and calcium, and numerous beneficial plant compounds including flavonoids, polyphenol, and glucosinolates. Research suggests morina may provide exceptional nutritional support, particularly valuable in areas with limited food diversity. Studies indicate it could potentially help maintain healthy blood sugar levels already within normal range. Research shows it may support healthy inflammatory responses throughout the body. Some studies suggest benefits for maintaining healthy cholesterol levels. Preliminary research indicates potential support for kidney health and antioxidant protection. Traditional use for supporting milk production in nursing mothers has been explored in some studies. As Western nutrition focused on isolated nutrients and pharmaceutical interventions for metabolic conditions, traditional nutrient-dense plant foods like morina received less attention in mainstream nutrition and medical education, despite impressive nutritional profiles. In Ayurvedic tradition, morina is valued as a powerful nutritive tonic used to support strength, vitality, and overall health. In parts of Africa, morina leaves are consumed as a staple vegetable and are particularly valued for supporting nutrition in children and pregnant women. Nearly every part of the tree is used traditionally, including leaves, seeds, pods, flowers, and roots. Dried leaf powder is the most common form and can be mixed into smoothies, soups, juices, or water. The taste is mild and slightly earthy. Young leaves can be cooked and eaten as greens, similar to spinach. Traditional use ranges from 1 to 2 teaspoons of leaf powder daily, providing substantial nutritional benefits. Morina can be consumed indefinitely as a nutritional food supplement. Consult your healthcare provider if you're pregnant, as some traditional sources caution against root consumption during pregnancy, though leaves are generally considered safe. Morina grows rapidly in warm climates, zones 9 and above, reaching 15 to 20 feet in a single year. It prefers full sun and well-draining soil. In tropical climates, it produces leaves year-round. In cooler climates, it can be grown in containers and brought indoors, or grown as an annual. Harvest leaves regularly to promote bushier growth. Oregano, or Origanum vulgar, is far more than a pizza seasoning. It's one of the most potent antimicrobial plants researched and has been used medicinally since ancient Greek and Roman times. The leaves contain volatile oils, primarily carvacrol and thymol, phenolic compounds with remarkable antimicrobial properties. Research suggests these compounds have activity against various bacteria, fungi, and even some viruses in laboratory studies. Oregano also ranks among the highest plants for antioxidant content. Studies suggest oregano may have broad-spectrum antimicrobial properties. Research indicates it could potentially support healthy immune function. Laboratory studies show activity against various pathogens, including some that show antibiotic resistance. Studies suggest it may support healthy inflammatory responses throughout the body. Traditional use for digestive support has been explored in research. Some studies indicate potential benefits for respiratory comfort during seasonal challenges. As pharmaceutical antibiotics became the standard treatment for infections, traditional antimicrobial herbs received less attention in medical practice, despite ongoing research into oregano's impressive antimicrobial properties and the growing concern about antibiotic resistance. Ancient Greeks used oregano for wound healing and respiratory support. The name oregano comes from Greek words meaning mountain joy. It was valued throughout the Mediterranean region for both culinary and medicinal purposes. Traditional use across cultures emphasized oregano for supporting the body's natural defenses against various challenges. Fresh oregano has medicinal benefits and can be used liberally in cooking. Dried oregano is more concentrated. Oil of oregano represents the most potent form but requires proper dilution, as it's very strong and can irritate mucous membranes if used undiluted. For general immune support, oregano can be used regularly in cooking or as tea, steeping 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried herb in hot water for 10 minutes. For more concentrated support, oil of oregano supplements typically provide diluted preparations with usage instructions on labels. Consult your healthcare provider for personalized guidance. Oregano is incredibly easy to grow as a perennial herb in zones 4 through 9. It thrives in full sun with well-draining soil and actually prefers drier conditions once established. One plant spreads and provides abundant harvest year after year. Greek oregano and Italian oregano are the most aromatic varieties with highest essential oil content. Echinacea, commonly known as purple coneflower, was the primary immune-supporting plant in Native American traditional medicine long before European contact. Modern research has validated many traditional uses. The roots, leaves, and flowers contain various active compounds including polysaccharides, glycoproteins, alkamides, and phenolic acids. Research suggests these compounds may help activate various aspects of immune function. Multiple studies suggest echinacea may help support the body's natural immune response. Research indicates it could potentially help reduce the duration of common cold symptoms when taken at the first sign. Studies show it may support the activity of natural killer cells and macrophages, important immune cells that patrol for pathogens. Some research suggests it may help reduce the severity of upper respiratory challenges even if duration isn't shortened. Studies indicate potential antimicrobial properties against specific pathogens in laboratory settings. As pharmaceutical approaches to colds and flu became standard, along with vaccines for various infections, traditional immune-supporting botanicals received less emphasis in mainstream medical recommendations, though research interest has remained strong and consumer use widespread. Native American tribes, particularly Plains Indians, used echinacea for more purposes than any other plant group. It was traditionally used for snake bites, wounds, infections, and general immune support. European settlers learned of echinacea from Native Americans, and it became one of the most popular herbs in America until antibiotics became widely available in the 1940s. Echinacea is most effective when used at the first sign of a cold or when immune support is needed. Tinctures, teas, and capsules all provide benefits. Many herbalists suggest using echinacea intermittently rather than continuously, such as during cold and flu season or when exposed to illness. Research suggests 300 to 500 milligrams of echinacea extract 3 times daily at the first sign of cold symptoms, continuing for 7 to 14 days. For tea, steep 1 to 2 teaspoons of herb per cup, drinking several cups daily. Some practitioners recommend cycling echinacea, using it for a few weeks then taking a break, though this is based on traditional practice rather than definitive research. Consult your healthcare provider, particularly if you have autoimmune conditions. Echinacea grows as a hardy perennial in zones 3 through 9. It thrives in full sun with moderate water once established. The distinctive purple flowers attract pollinators and make it an ornamental garden addition. Roots are typically harvested after 3 to 4 years. Both Echinacea purpurea and Echinacea angustifolia are used medicinally. Slippery elm, or Ulmus rubra, is perhaps the most soothing medicinal plant for digestive health. The inner bark has been used in Native American medicine for centuries and was an official medicine in the United States pharmacopoeia from 1820 to 1960. The inner bark contains mucilage, a gel-like substance that becomes slimy when mixed with water. This mucilage coats and soothes tissues it comes in contact with, which research suggests may help protect and support the integrity of mucous membranes. Studies suggest slippery elm may help soothe digestive discomfort and support the healthy function of the digestive tract lining. Research indicates it could potentially support comfortable digestion for those with occasional digestive sensitivity. Traditional use for throat comfort has been explored in modern contexts. Some practitioners use it to support overall digestive health and the integrity of the intestinal lining. The mucilage may also support healthy bowel regularity through gentle, non-irritating mechanisms. As pharmaceutical approaches to digestive issues became standard treatment, including acid reducers and various medications for digestive discomfort, traditional soothing botanicals received less emphasis in medical practice, though slippery elm retained popularity in herbal medicine communities. Native American tribes used slippery elm bark as food during times of scarcity and as medicine for wounds, digestive issues, sore throats, and coughs. Early American settlers adopted these uses. During the American Revolution, soldiers sustained themselves on slippery elm gruel when food was scarce, as it's nutritious and easily digestible. Powdered inner bark is mixed with water or warm broth to create a soothing, slightly sweet drink with a texture similar to thin oatmeal. It can also be mixed into smoothies, though it thickens liquids considerably. Lozenges containing slippery elm are popular for throat comfort. Traditional recommendations suggest 1 to 2 tablespoons of slippery elm powder mixed into 8 ounces of warm water or broth, consumed 2 to 3 times daily. For digestive support, taking it between meals allows direct contact with the digestive tract lining. Effects are typically gentle and noticeable within a few days to weeks. Slippery elm is very safe and can be used long-term. Because it coats the digestive tract, take it at least 1 hour apart from medications to ensure proper absorption. Slippery elm is a large tree native to eastern North America. Most people source the bark commercially rather than growing trees specifically for harvest, as trees must be mature and bark harvest can damage trees if not done carefully and sustainably. The species is actually threatened in some areas, so responsible sourcing is important. Sage, or Salvia officinalis, is more than a culinary herb. Its Latin name comes from salvare, meaning to save or heal, reflecting its long medicinal history. It has been used for over 2,000 years in European and Mediterranean traditional medicine. The leaves contain volatile oils including thujone, camphor, and cineole, along with rosmarinic acid and various flavonoids. Research suggests these compounds have antioxidant, antimicrobial, and potentially neuroprotective properties. Studies suggest sage may support cognitive function, particularly memory and mental clarity. Research indicates it could potentially support comfortable menopausal transitions, with some studies showing reductions in hot flashes and night sweats. Traditional use for oral health has been validated by research showing antimicrobial properties. Studies show sage ranks extremely high in antioxidant capacity among herbs. Some research suggests potential benefits for supporting healthy blood sugar metabolism. Additional studies have explored sage's traditional use for digestive support. As pharmaceutical approaches to cognitive decline and hormone replacement therapy for menopause became standard treatments, traditional herbal approaches like sage received less attention in mainstream medicine, though research interest has continued, particularly regarding cognitive support. Ancient Greeks and Romans considered sage a sacred herb used for mental clarity and longevity. The saying, "Why should a man die who has sage in his garden?" reflects how highly it was valued. Medieval herbalists used sage extensively for supporting memory and cognition, giving it the reputation as the scholar's herb. Traditional Chinese medicine uses related sage species for similar purposes. Fresh or dried sage leaves make an aromatic tea with a pleasantly herbaceous flavor. Steep 1 to 2 teaspoons in hot water for 5 to 10 minutes. Sage can be used regularly as a beverage, similar to other herbal teas. Traditional use suggests 1 to 2 cups of sage tea daily for cognitive support or menopausal comfort. Modern supplements typically provide standardized extract, with research using approximately 300 to 600 milligrams daily. Sage is generally safe for culinary and moderate medicinal use. High doses of isolated sage essential oil should be avoided, particularly during pregnancy, but culinary and tea use are considered safe. Consult your healthcare provider for personalized guidance. Sage is a Mediterranean perennial herb that thrives in zones 5 through 9. It prefers full sun and well-draining soil, actually thriving in drier conditions once established. Regular harvesting encourages bushier growth. Common sage, Salvia officinalis, is the primary medicinal variety. Plants become woody after a few years but continue producing aromatic leaves. Hawthorn, or Crataegus species, is the Western herbalist's most valued plant for supporting cardiovascular health. The berries, leaves, and flowers have been used medicinally for over 2,000 years in European traditional medicine. The plant contains oligomeric proanthocyanidins, flavonoids particularly vitexin and quercetin, and various other compounds. Research suggests these components may support healthy cardiac muscle function and coronary circulation. Extensive research suggests hawthorn may support healthy heart function and comfortable cardiovascular performance. Studies indicate it could potentially support healthy blood pressure already within normal range. Research shows it may help maintain healthy cholesterol profiles. Some studies suggest benefits for supporting comfortable physical exertion capacity. Traditional use for supporting emotional heart health has been explored. Hawthorn is also a potent antioxidant, and research suggests it may help protect cardiovascular tissue from oxidative stress. As pharmaceutical approaches to heart disease became standard treatment, traditional botanical cardiovascular tonics received less emphasis in mainstream cardiology, though hawthorn has retained significant use in European medical systems and research interest remains strong. In traditional European herbalism, hawthorn was valued for both physical and emotional heart support. It was considered the herb for mending a broken heart, referring to both grief and physical heart concerns. Traditional Chinese medicine uses related hawthorn species to support digestion and circulation. Hawthorn berries are traditionally prepared as a decoction or tincture. Leaves and flowers are often prepared as tea. Many modern preparations combine berries, leaves, and flowers for comprehensive benefits. Standardized extracts ensure consistent compound levels. Research typically uses 300 to 900 milligrams of standardized hawthorn extract daily, often divided into 2 or 3 doses. Studies suggest it takes 4 to 8 weeks of consistent use for benefits to become noticeable. Hawthorn is often used long-term as a cardiovascular tonic. Consult your healthcare provider before use, particularly if you have cardiovascular conditions or take heart medications, as hawthorn may interact with certain cardiac drugs. Hawthorn grows as a shrub or small tree in zones 4 through 8. It thrives in full sun with moderate water. Plants take several years to begin producing berries, but once established, they produce prolifically. The thorns are sharp, so plant away from pathways. Both Native American species and European hawthorn varieties are used medicinally. Visual: hawthorn berries on branch, flowers in bloom, molecular structures of key compounds, traditional hawthorn preparations, mature hawthorn shrub with berries. Cilantro, also called coriander or Chinese parsley, known scientifically as Coriandrum sativum, is valued in traditional medicine across numerous cultures for supporting the body's natural cleansing processes. It has been used for over 7,000 years in various traditional medicine systems. The leaves contain aromatic compounds, flavonoids, and phenolic acids. Research suggests cilantro may have properties that support the body's natural detoxification pathways, particularly regarding heavy metals encountered in modern environments. Studies suggest cilantro may help the body naturally eliminate heavy metals like mercury, lead, and aluminum that accumulate from environmental exposures. Research indicates it could support healthy liver function and the body's natural detoxification processes. Laboratory studies show antimicrobial properties against various common pathogens. Traditional use for digestive support has been validated by research. Studies also demonstrate significant antioxidant properties that may help protect cells from oxidative damage. As modern medicine focused on pharmaceutical approaches to toxicity and chelation therapy for heavy metal exposure, traditional dietary and herbal approaches to supporting natural detoxification received less emphasis, though research interest has grown with increasing awareness of environmental toxin exposures. Cilantro appears in traditional medicine systems across Asia, the Middle East, Latin America, and Europe. Traditional Chinese medicine uses it to support digestion. Ayurvedic medicine considers it cooling and uses it to support comfortable digestion. Traditional Mexican medicine values cilantro for cleansing properties. The widespread independent use across cultures suggests genuine beneficial properties. Fresh cilantro in foods and smoothies is the traditional and most enjoyable preparation. Cilantro juice can be made by blending fresh cilantro with water and straining. For supporting natural detoxification, consistent consumption over time is more effective than occasional large amounts. Traditional detoxification protocols use 1/4 to 1/2 cup of fresh cilantro daily, consumed in foods, smoothies, or juices. Cilantro is generally very safe as a food herb. For those using it specifically to support heavy metal detoxification, many practitioners recommend combining it with other supportive nutrients and working with knowledgeable healthcare providers, as supporting the body's elimination pathways comprehensively is important. Consult your healthcare provider for personalized guidance. Cilantro is remarkably easy to grow and thrives in cool seasons. In warm climates, plant in fall and winter. In cool climates, plant in spring and fall. Cilantro grows quickly, typically ready to harvest in 4 to 6 weeks. It bolts and goes to seed in hot weather, so succession planting every few weeks ensures continuous harvest. The seeds are coriander spice, also valued medicinally. We've explored 15 ancient medicinal plants that modern science is actively rediscovering and validating through rigorous research. Let me leave you with the 5 most important takeaways from everything we've covered today. First, traditional plant medicine wasn't superstition or primitive guesswork. It was sophisticated, systematically developed knowledge accumulated over thousands of years through careful observation and refinement. The fact that modern research validates 70 to 80% of traditional plant uses that have been studied demonstrates that traditional healers genuinely understood what they were working with. We're not discovering new medicine. We're rediscovering old medicine with modern tools. Second, the shift away from plant-based approaches in the 20th century wasn't because plants stopped working. It was a paradigm shift as synthetic medicine developed and research funding, medical education, and pharmaceutical development moved in that direction. This created a knowledge gap where valuable traditional information became less accessible to mainstream populations. Understanding this history helps us recognize that both traditional and modern approaches offer valuable perspectives. Third, these plants work best as part of comprehensive health strategies. Traditional herbalists understood this. They used plants alongside appropriate nutrition, lifestyle practices, and when needed, other interventions. The most effective approach to health combines ancient wisdom, modern medical science, good nutrition, physical activity, stress management, quality sleep, and strong social connections. Plants are powerful tools, but they're tools within a larger toolkit. Fourth, research literacy matters. I strongly encourage you to explore the peer-reviewed scientific literature yourself. Go to PubMed, type in any of these plant names, and read the actual studies. See what researchers are finding. Look at the evidence with your own eyes. Don't rely solely on my interpretation or anyone else's. The research is public, accessible, and verifiable. Being informed means examining primary sources and understanding what science actually says versus what gets reported or marketed. Fifth, work with qualified healthcare practitioners who understand both conventional and botanical approaches. Integrative medicine practitioners, naturopathic doctors, clinical herbalists, and open-minded conventional physicians can help you navigate how these plants might complement your specific health situation. This is particularly important if you have existing health conditions, take medications, or are pregnant or nursing. Plants are generally safe when used appropriately, but individualized guidance is valuable. Here's what I encourage you to do next. Choose 1 or 2 plants from today's discussion that resonate with your health interests. Research them thoroughly. Look up the studies. Understand their traditional uses, what modern research suggests, and how they might complement your wellness approach. If appropriate for your situation, consider trying them with guidance from qualified practitioners. If you're interested in growing your own medicinal plants, start with something easy like sage, oregano, or tulsi. There's something profoundly empowering about growing plants that support your health. You're connecting with thousands of years of human tradition, participating in knowledge that predates modern civilization, and taking an active role in your own wellness. Share this information with people who might find it valuable. One of the challenges we face is that much of this knowledge exists in academic journals that most people never access. By discussing these plants with family and friends, you're helping preserve and spread valuable information that benefits everyone. Remember, modern medicine has tremendous value. For emergencies, acute care, surgery, and many serious conditions, conventional medicine saves lives and alleviates suffering. This video isn't about rejecting modern medicine. It's about recognizing that we also have access to thousands of years of traditional wisdom that's now being validated by modern science. Both perspectives offer value. We don't have to choose one or the other. These 15 plants represent a bridge between past and present, between traditional wisdom and modern validation, between ancient healers and contemporary researchers. They remind us that humans have always had relationships with plants that supported health and well-being, and that those relationships remain relevant and valuable today. The knowledge is accessible. The plants are available. The research exists. The traditional wisdom has been preserved. What you do with this information is up to you, but I hope you'll explore it further, share it with others, and consider how these ancient medicinal plants might support your journey toward optimal health and wellness. If you found this information valuable, please subscribe to this channel for more evidence-based content on traditional medicine and modern research. Comment below and let me know which of these 15 plants you're most interested in exploring further, or share your own experiences if you've used any of them. Your engagement helps this information reach more people who can benefit from it. Thank you for watching. I encourage you to continue your research, consult qualified practitioners, and explore how the wisdom of ancient healers and the rigor of modern science can work together to support your health and the health of your community.